Today, we talk about one of the most famous pieces of literature entitled The Art of War. I want to take you through this book on a daily basis through the various chapters of this book and why most influential people prefer quoting the book. The Art of War is one of the most oldest and most influential books ever written on strategy. It was created in ancient China over 2,000 years ago during a period known as the Spring and Autumn Era, a time when many small states were constantly fighting for power. The book is traditionally attributed to an author in the names of Sun Tzu, also called Sunzi, a respected general and a military thinker. Not much is known about his personal life, but history describes him as a wise strategist who preferred winning through planning rather than through unsuccessful fighting. His ideas were so powerful that they shaped the military practice of Chinese rulers for centuries. Unlike many books, The Art of War is short and direct. It is divided into 13 chapters, and each chapter covers a different aspect of warfare, such as planning, leadership, using spies, understanding terrain, and managing troops. Although the book talks about war, its lessons go far beyond the battlefield. Modern leaders, business managers, athletes, lawyers, and even students use Sun Tzu's ideas to make better decisions. That is the brief background of this book. So I'll be taking you through chapter 1 of this book for those who may not have had time to read. So chapter 1 of this book is about laying of plans. It introduces the basic ideas that guide all strategy. Sun Tzu begins by explaining that war is a military matter. It affects the safety of a country and the lives of people. Because of this, leaders must think carefully before making decisions. They should not rush or depend on luck. Victory starts with good planning. Sun Tzu represents 5 important factors that every leader must study before going to war. The first factor is moral law, which means unity between the leader and the people. If the people trust their leader and believe in the cause, they will fight with courage. The second factor is heaven, which refers to natural conditions such as weather, seasons, cold, heat, night and day. These things can help or harm an army. The third factor is earth, meaning the physical ground, mountains, rivers, distances, terrain. A general must understand the land because it can determine whether troops survive or fail. The fourth factor is the commander. Sun Tzu says a good commander must have qualities: wisdom, honesty, kindness, courage, and discipline. A general without these qualities can endanger the entire army. The fifth factor is method and discipline, which includes organization, training, supply lines, and the way the army is structured. A well-organized army is stronger than a large but disorganized one. After explaining these 5 factors, Sun Tzu introduces 7 questions that help compare 2 opposing armies. These questions ask who has better leadership, who has the advantage of terrain and weather, whose troops are better trained and organized, who is stronger, who rewards and punishes fairly. But answering these questions honestly, a leader can predict who is more likely to win. One of the most important ideas in this chapter is that war depends on deception. Sun Tzu says, all warfare is based on deception. This means a leader should hide his true plans from the enemy. If you are strong, pretend to be weak. If you are close, make the enemy think you are far. If you plan to attack, create confusion first. Deception prevents the enemy from preparing properly and increases your chances of winning. The chapter ends by reminding leaders that good planning leads to victory, while poor planning leads to defeat. If a leader studies the 5 factors, answers the 7 questions, and uses deception wisely, they will have a strong chance of success. If they ignore these principles, they put their enemy and their country at risk. In short, chapter 1 of The Art of War teaches that the foundation of victory is not fighting but thinking. Battles are won through preparation, understanding, careful judgment, and long before armies meet on the field. That is brief of chapter 1 of The Art of War by Sunzi. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and like this video. My name is Mordecai. Let's meet in chapter 2 of The Art of War.